YTBC, what's the deal? So I ran across a very interesting article. My man Solomon Haumono has called out Lucas Browne. And we know Lucas Browne is a part of that WBA tournament. His next fight's supposed to be Freza Kendo. He just scored a phenomenal 10th round comeback, come from behind knockout over Ruslan Chagayev, a prediction I actually got wrong. But, since Lucas Browne has been champion, guys has come out and tried to challenge him. I'm going to leave this article in the description. I'm going to read a little bit from it. Solomon Haumono, a little bit about him. He is a guy who has fought, I believe, all of his fights in Australia. Maybe a few were in New Zealand, but he is 40 years old, 6'2", 74-inch reach. He will come in shape for the most part. He won his last 3 fights all by stoppages. His last loss was to Kevin Johnson about a few years ago, 10th round knockout loss. I did see him knock out Kayatoro Fujimoto. That fight's on YouTube. Seen a few of his fights on YouTube. He's beat Cliff Krauser. He's beat a lot of journeymen. He goes in there and does what he's supposed to do against journeymen. Marcelo Nascimento. So he goes in there and he takes care of journeymen. He is 40 years old. He turned pro in 2000. All right. So he came out yesterday in an article and he is calling out Lucas Browne. He goes on to say, well, first of all, him and his team, Solomon Haumono, would give him and his team, he got some businessmen, some backers. They're willing to give Lucas Browne $1 million payday for one fight. Browne goes on to say, why wouldn't I fight Solomon for $1 million? I don't class Solomon as a massive threat to me. He goes on to say, I just don't know how it can be worked out with the WBA because I'm in the mini tournament and I'm supposed to fight Freza Kendo. Okay. He says, I had to get my belt the hard way. So should everyone else. And he says, and then Haumono replied, he says, is he serious? That was pretty weak considering the facts. Lucas has been avoiding me for a long time, saying he was chasing big money world title fights, but now I know for sure that he just doesn't want to get in the ring with me. He thinks he is Big Daddy, but in reality, he is the Phantom, the ghost who walks. He doesn't want to show up. I fought 5 Australian champions when no one else wanted to. Everyone has seen the way people have been ducking me. I call out Danny Green and he goes quiet. I call out Joseph Parker and he goes quiet. I call out Lucas Browne and he says something ridiculous like what I have done to earn it. I'm ranked 14th in the world for that title, and we all know the champion can fight anyone in the top 15. The only difference between Browne and myself is that he has promotional company who has set everything up for him, whereas I have had to try to get things done on my own for a large part of my career, and in boxing that is tough to do, but not anymore. All right. Then he says, we will be more than happy to transfer the money into Lucas's personal account should he sign up to fight Solomon, and then let Lucas split the sum with his promotional team as he sees fit. All right, now some of you may say, Solomon Haumono does not deserve a shot, but I mean, he is ranked in the top 15 of that organization, and I've seen guys do this, where they'll fight somebody in the top 15 before they're mandatory, or now I know that he's in that. We know Browne has that regular WBA title, so it's not the world title. We know Tyson Fury has it, So, but just listening to Lucas Browne, I understand where he's coming from for the most part, but it just seems as if, he tried to make it seem as if he went through the gauntlet, of contenders to earn his title shot. When you look at his resume, like I said, I mean, yes, he beat Ruslan Chagayev, but before that, it was, Julius Long and Chauncey Williver. He did take Andre Radinko's, I will give him that. Radinko, I believe his only other loss was to Hughie Fury. I believe his only loss is to Hughie Fury. So, I mean, I understand where Lucas Browne is coming from. He's saying that you're not going to get a, easy title shot, but the guy is rated in the top 15 of that sanctioning body. I'm pretty sure they can get the fight in Australia. $1 million, I believe, maybe. I don't know what he made for this Chagayev fight, but $1 million pretty hefty. You know what I mean? So, especially for this type of fight, they could probably stage in Australia. I mean, to me, I want this WBA tournament to stay in line. Although Luis Ortiz fought Tony Thompson outside of the tournament. And, Freza Kendo, I know he's coming off a shoulder injury. There was some reports that they're looking to see if he still wants to fight. with Browne, which I'm sure he will. I mean, you're getting a shot at this regular title and you're in this tournament, and he's getting up there in age, so I would think Kendall would take the fight. But Haumono is a decent replacement in my opinion, just because where it'll be staged at. I'll look at it like a stay busy fight. I'm sure Haumono thinks he can win the fight. I'll look at it more like a stay busy fight. It really won't bother me at all, being that I don't look at Lucas Browne as the real champion. I know some of you huge Browne fans probably do, and that's fine, but I know better than that. That's not the world title. That's that's not the main WBA title. It's a secondary title. It's like the interim title, so I don't really view that that title as much, but I think this fight would be good while it lasts. Haumono, he has a 23 wins with 20 knockouts, so he has a high KO percentage, although against lesser opposition. But I wouldn't be surprised if this fight ends by knockout. I think it would end up by knockout. I don't mind the fight, man. What do you guys think about this fight? Do you think Browne should take the $1 million, or should he just stay in line with his WBA title or his regular title in the tournament and fight Fraser Kendall next? Or should he, make $1 million and, use having his title to his advantage? We have to see what the WBA will want to do. But I don't mind the fight if it takes place, just because I don't really view Lucas Browne as the WBA champion. I mean, if he fights Haumono next, fine, but he has a fight that he's supposed to fight with Fraser Kendall. So if the WBA allows it, I really don't care. To me, I think the other side of the bracket may be the strongest. With Ortiz and Fury and Klitschko. But I'm not going to count Lucas Browne out. But what do you guys think about this? Should he take the $1 million and fight Haumono, or should he just stay in line with the WBA tournament and fight Fraser Kendall next? Let me know what you think. YTBC. I'm out.